We really get to see women in, I think, a more varied light. And I think it's more representative of the world that we live in.
Pug is actually Adrian Chase in another character's form. So they're all tied together in my world. It's all the same character.
And you didn't know that Renée Elise Goldsberry played a lawyer that was actually assaulted by Josh one day on a show called The Following.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rudrani, and welcome to Speak Easy. My guests today are very special. Also, if you ever need a lawyer, they'll be the people that you'd want to have in your team. I mean, they've been dealing with superheroes. I'm sure they can solve your case. I'm talking about the very talented Renée and Josh. Welcome to Zoom TV and welcome to India.
Thank you. Thank you.
Been great. Thank you for having us.
Like I said, I do believe what I said. I think human cases will just be too easy for the two of you. After all that you've been dealing with, obviously, I'm going to start with Renée. Renée, they said that from the comics, the first difference starts that there is a definitive, there's a defining female gaze, female lens from which the show is also being told. And that is why you see the differences. And that is so interesting, right? One thing, if you've seen the episode, we'll know that the rivalry between the two women here have obviously not been exploited in that manner. And you see like there is a certain kind of competitiveness, but there's also this a bit of appreciation for what the other person does. And I think that's beautiful. Renée, what do you think about that? And of course, the fact that you finally have a show where your character's being shown from the female lens, taking a very, very U-turn from what the usual comics are, which are usually the male gaze.
I think it's wonderful because you could stop at, well, it's a show about She-Hulk. So there's one powerful woman on there, and we've checked the box. And I think what's really great about what we've done in this world is there are so many different kinds of powerful women in this show. I mean, from the villains through, the quote unquote sidekicks to the rival. I mean, you can look across the landscape and see very different, you can see powerful women in very different forms. And they don't always have to see eye to eye and get along. And we would be lying if we said that they're not sometimes threatened by each other. So watching them kind of have their battles, some of them really outright obvious, like Titania and She-Hulk, and some of them being more subtle, like what's happening between Mallory and Jen. We really get to see women in, I think, a more varied light. And I think it's more representative of the world that we live in.
Absolutely. Josh, I'm sure the little bit of on-screen legal thing that you've done in Arrow must have always come a little handy. I talked that about Renée as well, right? The Good Wife. I mean, I love The Good Wife as a show. Is this a coincidence? You guys come with legal on-screen experience already.
No, it's not. No, you didn't. Oh, see, you didn't know that Pug is actually Adrian Chase in another character's form. So they're all tied together in my world. It's all the same character.
And you didn't know that Renée Elise Goldsberry played a lawyer that was actually assaulted by Josh one day on a show called The Following. It's one of those things. We always get a job doing a job. Everything we do feels a bit like an audition, and we needed the experience, I think, to come into this universe playing a lawyer when Marvel took this turn, and I'm grateful for it.
And DC and Marvel finally, there you go. A unifying factor. Who would have
finally
thought?
This is what it took. She-Hulk. We finally married the two. It took She-Hulk.
Thank you so much. Lovely chatting with the two of you. Bye.